If you're like me, when you saw episode 7, The Force Awakens, you were very A, excited to see the film, and B, left going, huh, who are the Knights of Ren? They have to be of some significance because they're in the film, but we don't know exactly what role they play in the Star Wars universe. There's a lot of floating theories around. Some of them I like better than others. This is the one that I think is probably not likely, but makes the most sense to me. I think that the Knights of Ren are actually students from Luke's school. When Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, found out that Darth Vader was indeed his grandfather, something snapped in him. Because maybe he had been dealing with this struggle with the light and the dark the entire time, and he didn't really make it known to anybody and felt unloved by his father, because he says so in The Force Awakens. You wouldn't have wanted him as a father. He would have disappointed you, talking to Rey. But maybe that was it. Maybe they had lied to him. Maybe they had told him someone else was his grandfather. We don't know. He could have just been completely neglected by Luke and Leia, not Luke and Leia, Han and Leia, and be shipped off to his uncle's house to learn the ways of the Force. He could have been struggling with this inside his whole time. And then when he finds out, oh, Darth Vader's my grandfather, that's why I have these feelings, and just completely embrace them. And I think that it's possible that the Knights of Ren were other students at Luke's school who were like, I don't want to get killed, and just kind of followed him. Now, we don't see them past that one scene in The Force Awakens. So it could have been that they just gave up on him, stopped believing that, he was the second coming of Vader because he has like this anger problem. I don't know. I'm also very curious to see what goes on between Luke and Kylo Ren. Did Luke ever tell Kylo Ren that Darth Vader redeemed himself? And if he did tell them that he redeemed himself, did they just look at it like it was a moment of weakness from Darth Vader and just kind of pass it by and just didn't really think about it? Like, that's what happens when you care too much. You can't care. I have no clue. But if I was Luke and I found out that a student of mine found out that his father, and by proxy Ben Solo's grandfather, was Darth Vader, I would talk to him. I wouldn't just be like, yep, he was, sorry. I would probably talk to him a little bit and be like, hey, he was your grandfather and he did a lot of horrible things. He didn't like sand. He he was a quirky guy. Tell him, hey, yes, your grandfather did some horrible, horrible, horrible things. But at the end, he realized that he was doing wrong and redeemed himself. And I looked into his eyes as he passed away and said that he was redeemed. He's a Force ghost. I wonder if they're going to bring up Force ghosts in episode 8 as well, because it seems it was such a big thing in the original trilogy. Even in the first one, because when Luke's about to destroy the Death Star, use the Force, Luke. We find out later that that's Obi-Wan as a Force ghost. He's actually around, and then you see him on Hoth, and then you see him all throughout his training on Dagobah, and into 6 as well. So and then they just didn't bring it up at all in the prequels or in episode 7. I really hope they bring this back. It would be very interesting to see if a Force ghost, after they pass away, can then go to the dark and the light side once they've crossed over. That would be very interesting to see if anything like that is possible. I have no idea. But if it is possible for, Darth Vader or Anakin to interact with his grandson Ben Solo, that would be very fascinating. But I also wonder, we've never seen a Sith Force ghost. So I wonder if it's something that only Jedis can do, not Siths. Theory? I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. It's possible. But I just can't imagine that like something like that would happen and you wouldn't go, listen, no, you have this wrong. Yes, we kept it from you because we didn't want you to freak out like you're doing, and it was for your own good. I'm sure it was for his own good if they kept it from him. But I always think like the truth is the best way to go, but who knows? What do you guys think? Who do you think the Knights of Ren are? There's been some other stuff that this other group called Acolytes of the Beyond, I think is what the name of the group is. And they're basically like people who worship and collect Darth Vader memorabilia, which would make sense. It would also make sense why they want that blue lightsaber so badly. But I don't know if I believe that, because I feel like that would just kind of make it too convenient. I like the idea that they're all people who went dark from Luke's school. So now you have all these other bad Jedis out there just wrecking ship. But who knows? That's why we love this. Who do you guys think the Knights of Ren are? Go comment down below and comment on Twitter and let me know who you think the Knights of Ren are. But that is it for today's video. Please hit subscribe down below, and we'll see you next time with a brand new video here on Jedi Talk.